Welcome back to another episode of painting, building, fiberglassing, planning, inspecting, hammering, cutting, and working towards one big dream. Welcome back to Sailing Magic Carpet. There's been many adjustments made to the boats this week.
You got your mama's sunshine, you got your daddy's rain. You're like a piece of heaven.
There will be a post here.
In a hurricane. And it's bubbling over like sweet champagne. You got your mama's sunshine, you got your daddy's rain.
As always, there's a lot going on in the boat shed. We've hit some major milestones recently. I cannot believe it. I'm so happy with this. But there's still a long way to go until the water. The decks are finally closed, but they need to be fiberglassed and the bulwarks need to be built. There's finally some fresh paint being applied in the interior, but a lot more of it is needed. The interior layout is starting to get sketched out. Last week we made settees and a rough outline for the chart table, but again, there's so much more to do. And the cockpit, although we've made some good progress with new beams and designs, there's still a lot happening there as well. So that's where we'll start this week.
I will start the day by taking a few measurements, because we might have to stop by at Edensaw and grab some more wood. Longest one. I need more wood for the framing, the lazarettes here. I need some for the quarter berth. I need some nicer sapele or teak trim for the backrests. Yeah, odds and ends like that. Nice, easy.
Well, that's not particularly easy because it also depends on not wanting to put a hole through the back windshield and me being able to shift gears while I drive.
Easy.
Oh, Dee. We'll have to head over to Edensaw soon to buy some lumber, but for now, we'll keep focusing on the cockpit. Over the last several episodes, Aladino has built new bulkheads and beams and has even coated them all with epoxy primer. Aladino wanted to put all these new pieces in place so he could continue with construction.
So I've put all the framing back in just temporarily. I think I'm heating up the hot glue gun and then I will make a template of this partition here. These templates are just stuck together with hot glue. It's quick, easy, and gets the job done.
And personally, I find the templates themselves quite beautiful, especially since the curve of the hull in this boat is so graceful.
Piece by piece, it gets easier to visualize for us and for you. So yeah, I just transferred the template on the table, cut it out. It always takes a few tries where I still have to bring it down, and then I trim the edges. I put on a bit of angle because that's how the hole is. But now it is time to crack open a beer and call it quits for today.
Well, amazing partition built here. You did that so quickly.
Well, that is quite easy to do, but thank you.
But it looks so cool. You're very impressive.
One more to do over here.
All right.
You sanded the entire decks today.
That's true.
That's impressive.
I did just sand the decks, and I just came back from a run.
Yeah.
That's why there was a big gap in filming. Yes, behind the scenes of all the videos, I have been on a mission to run 1 mile every day for 30 days. I did this challenge last year, actually, and it felt so good that I'm doing it again. It's a nice way to end the workday every day.
Go Maya. Nice. All right, see you tomorrow, everybody.
See you tomorrow. The next day, we made a quick trip over to our favorite lumber store to pick out some new material. Ta-da!
Workshop.
Successful trip to Port Townsend,
Yes.
which we didn't really film, but
No.
I kind of filmed on my iPhone.
Everything looks the same like before. Nobody was working on it.
We got some new wood. Do you want to introduce what we bought?
We have a few more board feet of Alaska yellow cedar and then a little bit of sapele. The AYC is to continue framing in the cockpit and also for framing interior. As we put the backrest back on, for example, there's a bit of AYC holding it all together. And the sapele instead will be trim for the backrests to give it a little harder edge and a nice contrast to the okome plywood. And also I've got an update from the cockpit. Now everything that we have produced and made so far is in place. I have all the framing for the 2 lockers, and I do have the partitions too. I just want to show it to you because the next step is disassembling everything again. These 2 partitions will get fiberglassed, just like this one. So the next step is cutting into the fiberglass and removing the balsa in this section where I don't want it. Alright, a big chunk is out. So now I'm just preparing a little bit of glass because Maya will glass the 2 partitions that we just took out of that compartment. de glaçons.
Des glaçons. Man, if you guys actually heard Aladino and I speaking together when the camera's not on and nobody's around,
No, don't say it.
you would be shocked.
I don't want to hear it. You would all mort instantly.
They would all mort instantly. Deanie and I have our own strange mishmash of words, based loosely on all the countries we've visited and all of the ridiculous mistakes, mostly I, have made when trying to express myself in a different language. Some of those mistakes are hilarious enough to become solidified into our own little language, which is now a mishmash of French, German, Spanish, Italian, Dutch, and English. The only rule, of course, is that no word is either pronounced or used the way it really should be. Give it a few more years, and I imagine we'll be completely unintelligible to anyone except each other. I'm going to be honest, spending all day in a workshop will never be my preferred way to spend a day. I'm looking forward to finally sailing again, and having time for things like music, writing, reading, and spending time really thinking through our own video productions. But I will also say that my enjoyment of the refit has increased significantly now that I'm a bit more comfortable with it. At the beginning, it was very frustrating to have almost no idea how to work independently, how to fiberglass things correctly, how and when to use different tools. Even things like demolition were difficult at the start because I just didn't have much of a concept of how things are actually built. But I've now developed a bit more of an understanding of it all, and I can work more independently and even end up with fairly good results. There's a great deal of satisfaction that comes with learning a new skill and finding ease in something which was once quite difficult. Nice mask lines. These are gonna be almost permanent soon. Anyway, now that the partitions are fiberglassed and Aladino is just clearing up from this cockpit situation, we're gonna apply a bit more glass to like the outside of the cockpit well as the last thing we do today.
You want to gently massage it in place so that I can cut the excess off afterwards.
The goal is to have every piece of structural wood on the boat either coated in epoxy or fiberglassed with epoxy for waterproofing, stability, and strength. It will feel good to know that there's no weak points that we have to worry about when we're out crossing the Pacific Ocean.
Try to concentrate on breathing and let your thoughts fall like water to the floor. When you put a name to what you're seeing, know that it's all just the trick of the light. When the dark recoils and the morning invites us in, crawling and unfurling like the sunlight took through our skin. Wash away the night that has been. Ooh, try to concentrate on breathing and let your thoughts fall like water to the floor.
So the V-berth. The V-berth has kind of been ahead of the game this whole time. It was the first area to get fiberglassed, first area to get primer, and now it's going to be the first area to get its final coat of paint. So we're going to be doing 2 coats of Epiphanis 2-component polyurethane paint. We love this paint. We used it on Magic Carpet 1. So all of the white that you see on Magic Carpet 1 was this paint, and it's very durable, extremely scratch resistant, and beautiful, we think. So we're using it again on this boat. Did you purposefully pick out your Epifanis shirt today?
Of course. Yes. Here's a little sneak peek since we have done some parts already.
Oh yeah.
That's what it looks like.
That's what the whole V-berth is going to look like in a minute. We always begin by degreasing the surface with acetone.
Could you clarify that I'm not using spaghetti sauce? This is
Acetone.
acetone.
As simple as that. You break and scatter, shattered glass on the start, cold fingers in dust, it cuts to the bone. You break and scatter, shattered glass on the start, cold fingers in dust, it cuts to the bone. You break and scatter, shattered glass on the start, cold fingers in dust, it cuts to the bone, 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 cuts to the bone.
Alright, I was holding the camera, but then he took it from me because he said he wants to get my reaction. I haven't seen this yet. Wow! You did here too!
I don't see a thing!
Wow! Wow!
So yeah, the surprise is...
It's beautiful!
Yay.
Is this only one coat?
Yeah, it covered pretty good here.
It covered really well here.
It's interesting how it covers differently. Here instead it didn't cover as much. And of course there's technique and many things to it, but... Yeah.
Wow, what good paint. I love this stuff. It looks so good.
Yeah,
I mean, for one coat, this looks amazing. Normally one coat still looks a bit patchy.
totally. I tried to apply it thick, but that's why it ran on me a little bit too, where I applied it with the brush.
And wow, up here too. Oh, so good, Dean. With two coats on this, it's going to be perfect.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, one shines through actually. I'm sorry, I don't think the camera picks it up. No, it does.
Yeah.
There seems to be a bit of like gray, and that's just what is darker underneath. You can totally see it.
Yeah. But
Pretty awesome.
I think it's not going to need more than two coats.
We'll see.
What do you think?
And if it does, which is okay.
Yeah.
2 to 3 coats, I would say, is always safe. Yeah,
Well, it looks fantastic.
I like it too.
And so you're going to paint it again, like now,
Just
right?
exactly,
Because then
yeah.
you don't have to sand it.
Exactly, yeah. That is also one parameter that I always look at when I compare different paints is recoatability. And whenever I can do less prep work and continue with the coating, that is big bonus points for me,
Yeah.
which is the case with this product.
After 2 coats, and with the tape removed, the results were gorgeous. Imagine when the whole boat is finished like this, a beautiful crisp white to contrast the rich wood. And the shelves will be filled with books, there will be cushions on all the berths, and brightly colored blankets that we buy in Mexico, and fresh flowers from some market in French Polynesia. One day this will be our home, and personally, I'm really looking forward to that day. So now we can wrap things up. It's been a good week. Some fresh paint, some new fiberglass, some new wood waiting in the wings to be used, and the cockpit keeps marching forwards towards completion. As always, we'll be back next Friday with a new installment of Sailing Magic Carpet. Thank you so much everyone for watching. A big thanks to our patrons for making these episodes possible. If you'd like to become a patron, you can do so for as little as $2 a month. It's what keeps the channel alive, and in exchange there's lots of bonus things, like every Tuesday we post a secret vlog that only ever gets posted on Patreon, and they're in real time, unlike the YouTube videos. An extra big thanks to these folks who always go the extra mile to make sure that episodes keep being produced, and we will see you all next Friday. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Boatyard session. Today I'm slowing it down a little bit and I'm going to play a tune that I think is called McPherson's Lament. The thing is, when you play fiddle for a while and you pick up tunes at various jam sessions here and there, sometimes the names and everything can get muddled up. But the melody is a very beautiful one, and I'll double check the particulars.